YouTube. I find your lack of Rice Krispie Treat skull tutorials disturbing. Good evening, bats and ghouls. Miss Mortis here, and this evening we're gonna be making a skull crispy rice tutorial.
Yeah.
So join us. Welcome to my kitchen table. For this project, we will need your crisped rice cereal first and foremost. You will need butter. I don't use butter, but I use Earth Balance, so that's what I have. You will need marshmallows. You will need a can of generic frosting, some type of decorating icing or gel, a nice fancy plate to put them on. You will need a bowl to mix all of your ingredients in, and if you'd like, you can use a basic pan to place them down in, should you not want to put them into skull shapes. I found these sandwich cutter thingies, so I'm going to try and take my skull shapes out with those. So the classic recipe calls for 6 cups of crisped rice cereal, so I'm going to take my measuring cup right here and get that started. And there's that. 3 things that I forgot you're going to need is a measuring cup enough for 1 to 2 cups, and a saucepan and a spatula. Yes. So what we have here is a 24-ounce bag of marshmallows. The recipe calls for 10 ounces of marshmallows, so it's going to be a little bit less than about half, and it's going to call for 4 tablespoons of butter. So we're going to go ahead and melt the butter in a medium saucepan. Then we're going to add in those 10 ounces of marshmallows and melt them into that butter. Just remember with all this, kids, don't try this at home unless it's under parental supervision because you don't want to burn yourself, etc. So let's go ahead and get this poured in here. So we have our marshmallow goo poured in with our crisp rice cereal. So we're gonna go ahead and start mixing this and making sure we get it all mixed together. Wow, look how weird that is. Ew. Yeah. I do want to mention before I forget that, you know, being a skull that we're going for, it probably could have stood to use white marshmallows, but this is what I had and I'm not picky, so this is what I got. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take some of this mixture, just a little dollop like so, maybe a little bit less, and just plop that onto a little surface with some wax paper. And then we're going to make sure we have clean hands because we're going to be working with this by hand now. So basically like making cookies, you're going to flatten out your dough. Use your little cookie cutter. Take off the excess. And just make a bunch of these. So we can now do this with the rest of the bowl full of this mixture. That took forever. Finally got all of those done and pressed into their little molds. I have them layered doubly. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pop them into the freezer for about 5 minutes, let them solidify, and we will then take them out and get them iced. So now we're going to take our frosting and we're going to pop it in the microwave for a couple 30-second intervals, and you're going to mix it up in between each interval so that you get it to a nice and liquid consistency. So you shouldn't need more than like maybe 1 or 2, 2.5 of these intervals to get it pretty liquid. And this is what it looks like. It's very, very liquidy. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a drizzle coat of icing over our skulls. Get the idea. So I'm going to pop these ones in the fridge to cool down for a little bit and let that icing harden, and I'm basically going to be doing that with the rest. So now that these have had a while to cool down, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of go around them with this knife here, kind of separate them from the excess icing, and then I'm going to place them on the table so that they can be ready for decorating. And now that we have all of our skulls plated, we're going to bust out our black sparkle glitter gel, and we're going to get to work on making the details on the skull faces for this project. So I'm going to start on some of my inner skulls so I can work outward, and I'm just going to be going in with this tip here, trying to make just basic skull shapes. Something that I found that I can do is I have a little skewer here, so I can use that to make some extra details. And there we have it, our skull Rice Krispie treats are complete. Pro tip, I would recommend not using decorating gel. It's a bit too watery when you're trying to actually go for some precision in your decorating, and it tends to get a little runny after the fact, as you can tell by this poor guy over here, but we'll just call him, I don't know, Frankenstein's monster or something. So, sorry, it is currently Halloween evening that I'm finishing this up. I had some loss in the family thing going on, but anyway, I'm getting this up, and it's technically Day of the Dead now, so I guess it still counts, right? So I will have this uploaded, and yeah, just in the meantime, treat others how you want to be treated, and have a good rush to your Halloween and Day of the Dead.